Alright, what's up? It's the UFC Savant. I'm back after a 2 year layoff. I'm sure all 28 of my subscribers were wondering, where am I? Was I kidnapped? Was I murdered? I'm glad you guys can sleep now. My inbox was getting flooded. Where are you? You've only uploaded 6 videos over the span of 2 months, but we're all desperately awaiting your comeback. And this drought's made me want to come back. I wanted to talk about UFC. There hasn't been a lot of breaking news. I mean, all the headliners for this card were announced before the end of the UFC in 2025. January 24th can't come fast enough. Gaethje Pimblet, I'm pumped for that fight. But I was trying to think of a topic I can talk about no one's really covering. So I decided to go with the UFC White House card. Now, of course, everyone's talking about it. They're everyone's anticipating who's going to be on it, who's going to headline it. So I wanted to make a video kind of going through the divisions, talking about who could headline it, who isn't going to headline it, who probably isn't going to headline it. And obviously, this card's being marketed kind of like UFC 300 in the Sphere. Dana's kind of marketing like that, where the production's going to be crazy good and the cards are going to be great. Obviously, UFC 300, the production was great. The card was stacked, one of the best cards I've ever watched. The Sphere card, the production was crazy, but the fights were kind of lackluster. But if he's putting this much effort into building a stadium on the White House lawn, the president's going to be sitting there probably for every fight. Dana's not going to want boring fights on this card. He's going to want entertainment. So the production's going to have to be top notch to make everything work. So I do think there's going to be a lot of effort put into this. Um, like we saw with the Sphere card, because it was Mexican Independence Day, it was flooded with Mexican fighters. So I think that the theme should be on this card, obviously. Um, American headliners, American fighters on the main card, all things like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get through it. There are a few non-American headliners that I could see being worthy of headlining the card, like two non-Americans headlining it that I think could be worthy for this card. But I'm just gonna kind of break down the divisions. All right, flyweight Joshua Van, the only male American champion, coming off a pretty lackluster win over Pantoja. Pantoja broke his arm 30 seconds into the title fight, and I just don't see them. Obviously, I think people watching this kind of know what I'm gonna say, but I don't think they're gonna have Joshua Van headline the White House card. Um, I think he'll fight either Manel Cap or Tetsuro Taira in Houston next. Now that the pay per views aren't a thing anymore, I think we're going to see a lot more belts be fought on non-numbered cards like fight nights, and they're doing a UFC Fight Night Houston, I think in February. So I think Josh will be fighting on that. Yeah, that's it. Now, Piotr Jan. I don't think they're gonna want a Russian to headline the U.S. White House card, but the only way I can see him on it is if Sean O'Malley beats Song Yadong in a few weeks, and they push Sean O'Malley to get a title shot. I think there will be a lot of backlash. I will also say I don't think it's the lowest we've ever seen the UFC go as far as like unwarranted title shots. So O'Malley's already been pushing it. Like, how can you not make me and Peter rematch on the White House lawn? Obviously, their first fight was controversial. It was a 3 round fight that O'Malley won by split decision, but a 5 round fight after seeing what Jan just went through with Marab, I'd be worried for O'Malley, and it would be an interesting rematch. So I think the only argument you can have is the history, the closeness in their first fight is how people would be okay with it. But still, they're O'Malley's gonna have to earn. He's gonna have to beat Song, who's not bad. I do think O'Malley's gonna win, but Song's good, and it'll probably be a stand-up fight. So we'll see. Next, Alexander Volkanovski. He's fighting Diego Lopez on the 31st of this month in a title fight. And you look at the contenders, the top five. The only American is Aljo. He's not in title contention right now. And then Lerone Murphy and Evloev. Either of them probably should have got the title shot over Lopez. I think a lot of people are in agreement with that, but now they're fighting for number one contender spot. So featherweight, I think, is kind of booked up. They'll the winner of Volk Lopez will probably fight the winner of Evan Murphy after the White House card. So I think featherweight's off the table, and I just don't see putting Volk against one of these guys, these top contenders. I don't see it being a White House worthy card. Moving up to lightweight, Ilya Topuria. Now he's very interesting. He's obviously vacated the belt, which is why Gaethje and Pimblett are fighting for the interim belt in a few weeks, because he's going through legal battles with his wife or ex-wife or whatever she is now. Um, so I don't know how long he's going to be off. I don't know if it's going to be like a 3-month layoff. Then he announces he's going to be on the card. If it's going to be like 6 months of, because it sounds like it's going to get nasty. The legal process, the stuff she's put out, the stuff he said, how she's going to go after him, the tactics she's going to use. So uh, we do have some interesting fighters, though. Like Charles Oliveira is fighting Max Holloway in a few months. Again, Gaethje and Pimblett. So if Pimblett wins, and Holloway wins, maybe they'll like do a quick turnaround and put that on the White House card. The only non-American, one of the only non-American title fights I'd be okay with seeing would be if Topuria came back and Patty beat Gaethje, because obviously they have a ton of beef going back to even I think before their UFC days. And early in the UFC days, the altercation with the hand sanitizer bottle and all that. So, and just press conferences between Pimblett and Topuria would be hilarious. I think it would generate a lot of views. Topuria is definitely one of the most interesting, or one of the biggest stars in the UFC right now. So, it would be cool. But now moving on to welterweight, Islam Makhachev. You look at the top contenders. The only contender I think is worthy for a title shot right now is Ian Gary. I don't think they're going to do Gary Makhachev on the White House card. The only way I could see Makhachev getting on the card is if him and Topuria fought. But again, there's too many contenders at lightweight. There's contenders at welterweight. I don't think they like doing the double champ stuff if it's going to cause a logjam, which it kind of will at welterweight. So, yeah. Next, middleweight. Now, Dana White, I don't think is going to want guys who are liabilities to pull out headlining this card. And that's exactly what Chimaev is. I mean, he's pulled out the week of 2 of his fights, I believe, in the past year and a half. So, you also look at the contenders. Sean Strickland's up there. He's notable. I don't see how you don't put him on the card, but he's fighting Anthony Hernandez in February. If he does win that fight, I still think just because of the 2 title losses to Dricus, he's not worthy of headlining it. But it will be cool to see Strickland on the card. It's just I don't see any middleweights headlining it. Now next, Alex Pereira. You look at the standings again. Khalil Roundtree is the only American. He just got brutally knocked out. So the best contender for Pereira, and this is another one of the non-American title fights I can see being worthy on the card, would be Pereira versus Aspinall. Now, Aspinall, I don't know what's up with his eye surgeries, if he's going to rematch Gane, which I think he should, but maybe if he ends that fight quick, he can make a turnaround, because that's a massive fight that they can put on that card. That and, again, Topuria, Pimblett are the 2 non-Americans that I'd like to see headline the card, as long as all their next fights go how I think they're going to go. And I kind of already talked about it, but Tom Aspinall, I mean, he's not going to, I don't think he's going to be fighting any of these guys on the White House card. John Jones, like I was talking about with Chimaev, you don't want liabilities on the card. Dana bullshits a lot, but he also kind of like is stubborn. So I don't think he's going to crack and let Jones be on the card. I don't think he should. Jones could get into legal trouble tomorrow. No one would be surprised if a headline broke out. So, and I guess I'll cover real quick. The only woman I could see being maybe the co-main event is if Kayla Harrison beats Amanda Nunes in a few weeks. It will generate high floor, especially in WMMA, just because of what Nunes has done. But I mean, no one's gonna be tuning in for whoever she fights, so I don't think it really matters. But gun to my head, who do I think is gonna headline it? Gonna go to this real quick. Not that one. UFC star, and they're talking about Michael Chandler star. shares mega fight plans with Conor McGregor at White House. Now, go to this. The article is referring to an interview that Michael Chandler did on New Year's Eve with Bert Kreischer, who's hilarious. Fucking hate that guy. I will say it's going to be a big year, Chandler told Bert Kreischer. Number one, like you said, UFC is now on Paramount Plus the entire year for a multitude of years. And also, there's a rumor going around. We can't confirm nor deny it, but it does sound like I might be handing Conor McGregor a good old-fashioned, passionate red, white, and blue butt whooping on the south lawn of the White House sometime this summer. Classic WWE Chandler cutting a promo after every one of his interviews, but are people really interested in 2-5 in the UFC Chandler? I know Conor McGregor's going to bring eyes no matter what he's done, no matter how he's done his past fights. People are going to tune in, but man, he's been in the UFC for 5 years. He's beat Dan Hooker and he's beat Tony Ferguson. And I think the Gaethje beatdown, or the Pimblett beatdown, kind of took anyone's like hope or like hype in Chandler was kind of beaten out of him by Pimblett. So, but like I said, you want an American contender. You want a guy who's gonna bring eyes. It is gonna be Chandler versus McGregor as far as a guy who's an American and eyes on the sport. But gun to my head, I do think this is what they're gonna do. People are gonna not be happy with it, but again, you want a theme. You want Americans on the American card, on the White House card. So that's what I think they're gonna go with. I'm gonna stop rambling. I think I'm gonna end the video. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe. I'm glad you all can sleep now that I'm back. But I'm gonna start posting like prediction videos. Probably a few more videos before the fight cards. I'm also gonna be tracking my bets and posting how I do after every UFC card. So I'm excited to be back, and thank you for watching. Again, like, subscribe, comment, whatever else I'm supposed to say. Thank you.